Hey everybody, today is January the 28th, 2021, and it's a Thursday. I hope everybody's enjoying the beautiful snow that we got last night. It makes me excited to see it. I love snow, so I was pretty excited, and I hope you are as well. I know some of you are very disappointed because you were supposed to return to school today in person, but we all get to enjoy this day and look at the beautiful weather and do our class virtually. So hopefully we'll get back to school tomorrow for those of you that are on the B schedule. So we are continuing to talk about division facts and how we can use those to help us solve the problems that we could use multiplication to help us solve those division facts that we're going to be looking at today. And we're going to focus on fact families for 8 and 9. So we're thinking about how we can use multiplication to help us divide when the divisors are 8 and 9. So again, our learning lesson target is all about quotients for division facts with the divisors of 8 and 9, and we're going to focus on those multiplication facts and those fact families that would help us with that. We've already learned that we can use multiplication to help us divide by 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s, and today we're going to continue on with that with our 8s and 9s. So the very first problem that we have is about an art teacher who wants to, or has actually put 72 crayons in a bucket. The crayons came in boxes with 8 crayons in each box. The question's wanting us to answer how many boxes of crayons were there. Now, you're going to see that I have on here work with a partner, but we're not going to work with partners today since we are virtual and we're not able to do that because we're not in person. So we're going to go ahead and work on this independently, and I'm going to hop over to my whiteboard and we're going to talk about how we can use that knowledge and those drawings of arrays and or equal groups that we did with multiplication and see how it's relating to this division sentence. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and get these little circles, and I'm going to make my array. I'm going to do an array first. Now remember, our goal is to divide 72, and I'm going to go ahead, let me do that first before I start doing my circles, let you see what the division sentence is going to look like here. So we have 72 divided by 8, because we know that there's going to be 8 crayons in each box. So we're looking for, and I'm just going to put an A here for, or a C. Let's do a C for crayons. So I'm looking for how many boxes that we have, since we know there's 8 crayons in each box. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing my circles here to get 8 in each row, because our goal is to have those 8. And when I do that, it allows me to see and develop my rows that I need to show this problem. And I keep getting smaller as I go with my dots. Again, Miss Bay struggles with this terribly bad. You all are so much better at this than I am. So I need 4 more. One more and I have my 8. And again, those are not very good. I do it every time, guys, every time. Just not really good at that. So now I have my circles for my first row of 8. Now, our goal is to continue to do this until we get a how many rows or how many boxes there will be. So I'm going to go ahead and just do copy and paste so mine will stay the same. But that first row is a mess, but it's okay. We're going to be fine with that because we can still see how many rows we need when we drag these down. So we can still see how many rows we're going to have. So I need to keep completing that, and I know it takes a while sometimes to get all of those in, but when you see these pictures, it makes it so much easier to determine what the answer is. Need one more in this row. So now I have 2 rows of 8. So in 2 rows of 8, I already know, and most of you that have passed your 2s, you know that 2 times 8 is 16. So we have 16 of the 72 on here, and I'm just going to keep going till I get, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those over. Now I have 3 rows, and for those of you that have passed your 3s, you know that 3 groups of 8 equals 24. Some of you are working on your 4s, so we'll see if you know the answer to that one here in just a moment. So now we have 3 groups of 8, and we've determined that that is going to be 24. And now we're down to 4 groups of 8. And again, those people who have passed their 4s, you know that 4 groups of 8 equals 32. So we still have some rows to make before we complete our 72. But we are at 32 now. And we need to continue until we get 72. So I'm going to keep moving this up just a little bit, and then we can come back and count them. So now we're at 32, and we're going to do the same thing again. So as we're making these groups, we can see it coming together. We all are really, really good at our 5s because we can count by our 5s easily, because that's something we did when we first started learning to count. So we all know that if we count 5 8s, we get 40. So now we're at 40. We still have 32 more to go. So we're going to continue on with our picture, our array, which does make it easier for us. And I'm going to go ahead and make my copies here to get my circles made. Now we're at 6 groups of 8. So 6 groups of 8, if 5 groups of 8 equal 48, then 6 groups of 8 is going to equal 40, then 6 groups of 8 is going to equal 48. Uh-oh. I'm just going to leave that big circle, guys. I struggle with this every time. So we still have a few more to go. So 6 groups of 8 is 48. I have 1 more to add. So now we have 6 rows of 8. We're going to add another row, and we can count up if we're not sure how many that we have. So if I'm adding another row, then I'm going to be able to count those, and when I multiply 7 times 8, I get 56. And then if I do 7 more, or 8 more, I get 64, and that would be 8 times 8. So you're seeing this picture start to develop here. And then if I do 8 more, I get 72. So then I'm going to have 9 rows. When I'm complete, I'm going to have 9 rows of 8. So for this particular problem, 72 divided by 8 equals 9. it's going to take 9 boxes of crayons to get 72 crayons to place in a bucket. So again, you can draw those arrays, and I know I didn't finish mine completely, but I did talk you through it, and I want you to think about how you can do that with groups next. So we're going to look at one more problem here. We're going to look at 48 crayons in boxes of 8. Now we've already kind of talked about what that picture would look like earlier, and now we can do that same thing with 48. So we know that there's going to be 8 crayons in each box, and I'm going to just come up here and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this shape that's 8 sides. So I'm just going to count the sides for my 8. So there's 8 here. Then I'm going to put another one. There's 8 more. We know that those of you that passed your 2s knows that 2 times 8 is 16. So the sides represent 16. And then I'm going to add another one. That's going to give me 24 if I were to count all the sides. And another one is going to give me 32. One more is going to give me 40. And then one more is going to give me 48. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to count those sides with you quickly so that you can see we are getting our answer based on how many sides we have. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So now I have all of those sides equaling 48. So my picture shows I have how many different boxes here or shapes here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the basic fact that's going to help me with this problem is going to be 6 times 8. Oops. Eight is going to equal 48. So if 6 times 8 equals 48, my division sentence would be 48 divided by 8 should equal 6. So do you see that relationship that is happening here to make it easier for us to be able to get our answer when we know the basic multiplication fact that works? That's what I love about multiplication and division. It allows me to learn those facts, which will in turn help me to divide. So now my actual division sentence was 48 divided by 8. If we know the basic fact that that 6 times 8 equals 48, then we know that 48 divided by 8 has to equal 6. It has to equal 6. So I want you to use that basic fact knowledge that you learned with multiplication so well and use those strategies if you don't know the facts. Here we were able to use an 8-sided shape, which you're going to be learning about later on in math. We were able to use that 8-sided shape to help us with this division problem. So what I want you to do is try to use the same type of strategies if you don't know the basic fact, and do that for 36 divided by 4. Now, if you do know the basic fact, why would we not want to work smarter instead of harder? We don't have to draw those pictures when we know those basic facts and we know that fact family. So use that knowledge to help you. And please overlook Miss Bays' technology issues, because I'm not very tech savvy. So you can even tell me that on the lesson work. Not tech savvy, Miss Bays, not tech savvy like us. So you can make a comment on the turn-in page for your lesson work that I am not tech savvy. So I hope everybody has a great day. Get your work finished so you can get out and enjoy this winter weather and play in the snow, and maybe even build some snowmen and upload those pictures as well, because I would love to see them. I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you soon.